What's happening, guys? Welcome to my first tutorial where I'll show you how to get started in the world of Unity. For a while I've been modelling scenes and objects in 3ds Max and thought, wouldn't it be cool to have my models in a game? Which, through some research, led me to Unity. Unity 3 is a game development tool that allows you to create amazing games or simulations really quickly. And what's more, the basic version of the program is absolutely free, which you can download from their website if you just visit www.unity3d.com and download the program. Okay, so once you fire up Unity, you'll be presented with the Project Wizard box, which has got two tabs: Open Project and Create New Project. In the Open Project, you'll have all the scenes and the projects, the games you've been working on recently stored in the list here. You'll be able to simply double click on those and it will load up straight away where you left it. The Create New Project tab, if you click on that one, which is the one we'll be using, we need to choose an empty folder for all of our work to go into. So if you select Browse, I've already created an empty folder here called Tutorial 1, so I'll go ahead and use that, and then all I'll do is select folder. You select any empty folder you want to save your work in likewise. So I'll select that one, and then you'll be able to choose what packages to import into Unity. Now the packages will contain information on pre-written codes and scripts and effects that you'll be able to use in your game. But for the first tutorial we're only going to want the character controller, which is going to contain the first person controller and the third person controller. So we want to use those in our games. We'll go ahead and click. There's lots more you can do. You don't have to select them here. If you do decide you want to use them later on in your game, we can import them at a later stage. But now you've got that clicked, if you go ahead and select Create, and it will start importing the package you've selected and opening up Unity. Okay, and then you'll be presented with the Unity interface. It seems a bit daunting at first, but we won't cover everything today. I will probably talk about things as when we come to it. But the first thing you'll notice is you've got your menu across the top, as with 100% of programs. You've got your buttons here that enable you to move, rotate and scale your game objects. Then you've got your main scene here. This is where we'll be dragging and dropping and manipulating anything we want in our game. You've got the inspector, project and hierarchy. Now these three boxes, or all the boxes actually, can be manipulated to however you feel most suited, however your workflow works. You can change them by clicking the layout and then selecting how you want your screen to look. So you can change it like that, and then you've got your scene, your game window when you choose to test your game, and your three main sections across the right here. You've also got other layouts such as wide, which is how I like to work. You've also got the tool, so you can pretty much change it to however you want. You can click on the tabs and then move them around as well. I'm just going to go ahead and set mine back to wide. You've got three main sections: Inspector, Project and Hierarchy. The project will contain all of your game assets, so any textures, any scripts, all the levels, prefabs when we come to do them, will all be stored here. Now when you want to use one of those in your game, you would click it and drag it into the hierarchy, and then it appears in the scene window. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my grid there just so we can get an idea of what we're looking at. So yeah, you click your assets, bring them over to here. The inspector window will contain information on the current selection, which we'll look at more detail when we get there. So the view works quite simply. Once your mouse is in the scene, you can hold your right mouse button down and rotate it around. Alternatively, you can use your left mouse button and click on any of the axes that you want to view. So say we want a top-down view, we would click on Y and it would spin around all by itself. And if we want to look at it from the X-axis, simply click on there. We could maneuver it around by holding our right mouse button down again. You'll notice a slightly different angle, and you'll see the letters ISO appear just beneath the gizmo. To go back to your perspective view, which is slightly easier to navigate around, just click in the yellow box, and there it goes. In this tutorial we were going to look at creating a first person camera. Now, to do that we're going to need to create a plane or something for the character to walk across. To enable us to do this, we're going to click on Game Object and then Create Other, and we are going to create a plane. I'll go ahead and click on that, and you will see it appears in your scene window. It will also show up in the hierarchy, and you will also notice that the information to enable us to change the objects has appeared in the inspector. To make things easier later on, if we set all these values to 0, this is the position. So that's put it right in the middle of our scene, and we haven't got any rotation on there, and the scale is set to 1, which is quite small. So you can either change the scale by clicking here and putting in a higher number to increase the size, or you can click on the scale button just here. We click on that and then click in the grey box and drag outwards. That creates a plane that our character can walk across. The reason it can walk across it is because we've got a mesh collider there which stops our character from falling straight through, which I can demonstrate to you later on. So now we need to create our camera that we can walk around on our plane. In order for us to do this, we can use our character package that we imported at the very beginning. If you click on the standard assets or the little arrow just next to it, it will pop down and it will show you the character controllers. Click on there and you'll be able to choose between the third person controller or the first person controller. So if you click and hold and drag into the hierarchy, so you'll notice that our character controller has popped up a little far away from our plane. We're going to have to move that. So this is where the bits we did earlier with the plane become useful. We know that we can set our position for our camera to 0, 0, 0, and it appears in the center of the plane, but it's only halfway through. If we were to play the game now, it would fall straight through the plane and it wouldn't make for a very good game. So we need to slightly position our camera or character just above it. To make this a little bit easier, you can click on the Z axis to get to the side, and then use your mouse wheel just to zoom in, and then click on the move tool, which is just up here on the left, and click on the Y axis and just drag it up just so it's above this line here, which is where our plane would sit. So you can go ahead and change back to your perspective view, and that is your game character or controllable game camera, which will be in first person. And you can see here that all the scripts have been pre-done. They all can be customized. You can just click on the script here and it'll open up. I don't know what any of that stuff means yet, but I will be learning it very shortly and then hopefully do some more tutorials on it. But for a second we'll go ahead and close that because it's pretty scary. And that really is as simple as it can get as far as creating a controller goes. But we want to test it just to make sure it works. So we could use these little icons up here, these little tools. You've got play, pause. I'm not sure what that one means just yet, but I imagine it means skip ahead or something. But we'll go ahead and click the play. This will start our game running. I'll have a little think about it. And then there it is, it's popped up in our game window. You can see by moving the mouse you can look around, and then using the arrow keys, although you can't see it very well, you can move forward, left and right, up and down. Now that's all well and good, but no one really wants to buy a game that just enables you to walk around a grey plane with very blue background. It's not going to be in the top 10 for PS3 games. So we can stop the game running by clicking play. It stops and it jumps back to our scene. So to improve this, we could change the texture on the plane, maybe give it like a pathway look or grass or anything like that. We could also change the environment that you're in. Now we can do this by importing the assets known as a skybox, and we could have done this at the start, but I'll show you how to do it now.